Hi there. I'm going to cover a problem that some people have, some people don't, but it annoys the heck out of me. When you're knitting with two strands, sometimes you're knitting along and one strand drops off and you lose your way. So what I'm going to be showing you today is a way to work off cones, double-stranded, without having the yarns split on you. And you can do this with caked up balls like this, but I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to show you a little trick with the cone holder, because I'm going to be knitting with both of these cones. The cone holder that I have is only fitted for one single cone, but whenever you're knitting with cone yarn, you need to remember that cone yarn is made to be knitted off the top, not off of the side here. You don't want the yarn to come off this way so that it's rolling sideways, because that'll affect the twist. You want your yarn to be coming off the top. That's why all your cone holders will always have the yarn coming off the top. But when you're working with two cones, it's still rather difficult to make sure that they all always stay the same, because they're flipping around from two different sides of the yarn, as you can see. So what we're going to do is make up a better tool so that the yarns will not only stay together, they will remain together throughout your knitting process. And what we have here is a high-tech device. It's been around for ages, and you can get them at any supermarket. The oatmeal box. And what we're going to do is shake out the last of the oatmeal. We're going to take one strand of yarn, drop a cone into the oatmeal box, and then we're going to thread that strand through the lid of the oatmeal box like that. Put the lid on, and then we're going to thread the first yarn into the bottom of the cone that's going to sit on top. And let me get that for you here. So now you have two yarns, one sitting on top of the other. This is the inside. This strand right here is from that cone, and here is the cone that's on top. And as I pull them up, you'll see that the cone from the top is winding itself around the cone on the bottom. Let me adjust that here so you can see it better. There you go. Okay, so the yarn from the top is winding itself around the yarn from the bottom, so that what you're knitting with or crocheting with is a single twisted strand. And that gets kind of awkward because it can still throw you off a little bit as you're working with it. So in order to keep them in place, I'm going to put them down here on the floor, and I'm going to use the yarn break from my winding process. Let me see if I can figure this out here again, like I always do it. Alright, it goes that way. There we go. Drop that down into place. And now my yarns are twisting, and I can knit with them correctly. That may or may not solve problems you have, but I have to knit with these two cones for a baby blanket, and then I'm going to dye it after I get all done. So anyway, this is just a small little idea that may or may not help you with your working with your coned yarn, and I'm working without a script, so bear with me. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.